We all have watched Disney movies, and on each of them, there is a villain, eager to win and never accept defeat. From the evil queen to Mother Gothal and the famously cruel Cinderella stepmom, all shown represent something that they all have in common. They are all wicked, but what if there might have been an influence who led to all of their bad actions? And that influence is the Odd Sisters, because all along, they had been the true villains. If it wasn't for them, Snow White would have never been poisoned, Ursula would still be here with us, and Maleficent wouldn't have fallen trying to protect her daughter. The story dates back to the mother of Gothal, Minya, which was a witch, and living with her mother, which was also a witch. She then fell in love with a human and had a kid without her mother's will. She named her Lucinda. Her mother then snatched the kid and made the baby girl into 3 identical triplets. She made 3 baby girls because 3 is a blessed number for witches. And then she sent them to fairyland where they could learn all kinds of spells. After 3 long years, the Odd Sisters created themselves a daughter to keep them company. They did this previously for Maleficent, so it wasn't a new trick that they kept under their sleeves. They named the baby girl Circe, and after this, things started to become worse. Because of grief, loneliness, and anger, they had given up anything good that was in their hearts. After all, to make their girl Circe, they had to give up every bit of good that they had inside of them. After some time, the Odd Sisters, Lucinda, Ruby, and Martha, all were filled with anger. Circe understood how dangerous they were becoming, so the only thing she could do was to make them whole again. She understood this with the help of Snow White, and she trapped them in the world of dreams. The solution to the Odd Sisters led to the end of Circe's story. But even though the Odd Sisters were trapped, they still had a void because they couldn't live in a world where their daughter wasn't in. Now let's talk about their influence that they had on the other Disney villains. The sisters are first seen attending the wedding of their cousin, the first king, and his new wife, the evil queen, who finds them very strange upon their first meeting. They introduce the evil queen to the practices of alchemy and potion making. They leave her many of their magical possessions, such as spell books, a cauldron, and various ingredients as presents for the queen. They also give the queen an enchanted mirror, which contains the spirit of her deceased father. They give an incantation to the queen for her to recite to the mirror when she wants to summon him. Eventually, the queen grows annoyed of their random appearances at the castle and forces them to leave. Shocked, they live in despair with a newfound dislike for the queen. The mirror was then cursed by the Odd Sisters, imbuing it with dark magic that reflects not just physical appearances but also hidden desires that a person could have. They knew what the evil queen was most afraid of, so that's why they would tell the mirror to whisper dark thoughts and fuel her with her deepest insecurities and vanities, for her then to explode out of anger, which didn't just lead her to become a villain but also to her downfall where she died, and also making even Snow White take a bite of the apple because they had also already written a note that they wanted Snow White dead. The sisters are first seen receiving a visit from Ursula in her human guise of Vanessa. She requests their help in disposing of her brother King Triton. In exchange, she will help them locate and contact their estranged sister Circe, as well as give them Ariel's soul for a spell. Throughout the novel, they get more and more worried about their deal with Ursula because of a message that was given to them by Maleficent that told them to cut all ties with her. They eventually go to the Morning Star Castle, the home of Princess Tulip, where they learn from Tulip's nanny, a fellow witch, that Ursula has no intention of keeping her end of the bargain because she is keeping Circe as a bartering tool in her Garden of Souls. The sisters then try to become a hero as he recites various incantations to help Prince Eric defeat Ursula once and for all and kill her. They succeed in doing so and saving Circe in the process. However, the magic that they spent to help Prince Eric made them in a death-like slumber. In the fifth book of the series, the Odd Sisters encounter Mother Gothal, with whom they have a bad relationship. The backstory involves the sisters offering to help Gothal save her older sisters, Hazel and Primors, from death. In exchange, Gothal must provide information about her mother's magic. Gothal trusts the sisters, but her protector Jacob grows wary of them. Gothal eventually discovers that the Rapunzel flower can save her sisters. However, one flower proves insufficient, leading to the painful deaths of Hazel and Primors. Heartbroken, Gothal is put into an enchanted sleep by the Odd Sister, with the flower preserving her youth and Jacob guarding her. Upon Gothal's awakening, the Odd Sisters have enchanted a barrier that allows the king's soldiers to claim the flower to cure the ailing queen. The sister then assists Gothal in settling into a new home under the care of the oblivious Mr. Tittlebottom. The sisters, now distracted by other concerns, leave Gothal on her own. When Gothal loses faith, she discovers that the Odd Sisters are attempting to steal the remaining Rapunzel flower to heal Maleficent. Gothal refuses to share the flower and begins to hoard the flower for herself. The sisters reappear on Rapunzel's 8th birthday, attempting to use Rapunzel's magic to resurrect Hazel and Primrose. Their plan is thwarted by Mr. Tittlebottom. The Odd Sisters then place Rapunzel in a magical sleep and erase her memories of Mr. Tittlebottom and the cottage. They also erased Mr. Tittlebottom's memories of Rapunzel's. While in Dreamscape, the sisters attempt to guide Rapunzel towards realizing her true identity by manipulating Flame Rider to enter the tower. Circe intervenes, ordering them to stop their interference and confiscates their mirrors used for spying. But even though Circe did this, Mother Gothal was transforming into her old self and died from falling out of the tower. Now, in the Book of the Odd Sister, we can also see many letters dedicated to how they wanted to kill different villains. They also have each of the relics or items that they use to possess or reflect their bad incantations, magic, and influence towards them. Now that I explained you everything, let's read the last page of the Odd Sisters. "We too are happy to be ourselves again," said Lucinda, "but we wish it didn't take your death to achieve it. Mr. Tittlebottom brought the witches a pot of tea and some cups. Here you go, dear," she said, putting down the tray. Circe looked up at her. "Oh, Mr. T, what are you going to do? Move forward beyond the veil or back to your old life?" Mr. Tittlebottom laughed. "I've lived far too long already, but the ancestors have one more task for old Mr. Tittlebottom before she goes. I'm to look after the flowers should you and your mothers decide to use them. I've only just stopped by from my own corner of the place between for a spot of tea before I make my way back home. And to ask you a favor," Circe smiled. "Of course, what's the favor?" But Lucinda answered for the old woman. "She would like us to make our choice quickly. She is ready to go beyond the veil." Lucinda smiled at Mr. Tittlebottom. "I'm sorry, our ancestors have interfered with your passing." Mr. Tittlebottom patted Lucinda on the shoulder. "Oh, you're not the same witch I remember. Not at all. I like this version of you much better." Lucinda laughed. "I like myself better too. But what choice are we talking about? I already made my choice. And why are you here, mothers? Why aren't you in the dead woods? Why aren't you living the lives I gave you with a sacrifice of my own?" Lucinda took Circe's hand. "Because, my Circe, we are in the place between and we have been given a choice, and all we have to do is listen to hear it." Thank you everyone for watching, and this is the video for today. This is all I know for the odd sister. I try to make it as clear as possible. If you like the video, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell so whenever I upload a new video, it will come directly to you. Thank you for supporting me. I wish you the best, and if you have any other ideas for any YouTube videos, comment them down below. And if you watch the full video, comment a mirror and a star so I know you watched the full video. Thank you everyone, and see you on the next video.